back, relax, and maybe get yourself a snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hey guys, so I'm back and I went to a lovely place called Hay on Wye recently, and if you don't know where that is, it's based in, well, it's kind of on the border between Wales and England, and it's a town that just so happens to be full of bookshops. And when I say full, I mean like almost every place there is food or bookshops, which is a great combination, I think you'll agree. And it's a lovely little picturesque town. It's got so many old worldy bookshops where you go in and you think, oh, this is a nice little shop, and then you turn a corner and it's like this really twisty passageway and it's just jammed to the brim with books. And honestly, that is a dream, isn't it, if you're a book lover? So this town is incredible. I've wanted to go there for a long time, and so eventually me and my best friend and my husband and my son all decided we would go together just for a little few days. Really, I could have lived there if I'm honest. I will be going back, let's put it that way. I will definitely be going back because my goodness, what was there? That's my cat headbutting the tripod there. My goodness, what was there I absolutely loved, and I do feel like I did not get enough time in the bookshops because I feel as though I could have literally lived there, and that would have been so amazing to kind of live there. Oh my gosh, it would be dangerous to live in this town because there are just so many bookshops, and my gosh, I would end up spending so much money all the time. So yes, that would be dangerous, but it was amazing. It was a great trip, and we did get to go in the majority of the bookshops. We certainly didn't do them all. I think there's like 15 or 20 different ones there, and I think we probably did about 10, so maybe half. Some were not as interesting to me, like antique bookshops or, you know, rare books or that sort of thing. Like I wasn't as interested in those, but the ones that sell, you know, general fiction, fantasy, all of that sort of stuff were awesome. One of my favourites was definitely the old worldy massive bookshop. I can't remember the name of it. I'll put it on the screen. It's like Richard Booth or something like that. Whenever we went in there, it was just gorgeous, like looking around the place. I've got some video that I took whilst I was there actually, so I'll put that in. But yeah, it was so gorgeous. Like all the bookshelves were just so beautiful, and the way the shop is laid out, I just really, really enjoyed kind of looking around that one. It's much more spacious, it's much more similar to a Waterstones, I would say, in terms of the stock they have. That one was really, really fun. Really enjoyed my time there. We went in there a few times. They have a great kids section, and Smudge, come on. They have a great kids section, but they also just, yeah, really, really good selection of books. I did buy a few in there, I think. And then some of the others that we went into, one of my absolute favourites, probably my favourite of the trip actually, was a place called Gay on Wye, which I just thought was a fantastic name because the town is Hay on Wye, and this book specialises in LGBTQ plus stories, which is fantastic. Always love to see that. They had a real range of like every kind of genre of LGBT. So yeah, absolutely loved that. Found a few good books in there. I found a few for my son as well, which is always nice because I do feel like the more you can educate children about like how different everyone is, the better. So we're really trying to do that with our son, and he's definitely at the age where he's asking questions about things now, and I feel like having books that kind of show that you can be yourself, whoever that is just a great thing. So I'm absolutely over the moon about just having gone on this trip. It was really reignited my love of reading, and I think alongside having the shelves and being done with SBFBO now, which is great. There is a winner, by the way, so if you haven't seen that, I'll link the post below about that. But yeah, along with being finished with that, like my required reading, shall we say, having my shelves and having gone on this trip to Hay on Wye, I'm feeling really inspired to read and just get back into bookish stuff. So yes, let's have a look at what I actually picked up in Hay on Wye because it was lots of fun. We'll start with a slightly crazy looking one, which is The Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. Honestly, this sounds like a wild time. A lot of the books were really reduced, by the way, so this one was like $4.95 and normally it would be sold for $10.99, so it's pretty reduced. I think a lot of the shops in Hay on Wye sort of bulk buy books and then have loads of stock, but often they're sort of like the second or third in a series, so you have to kind of get a bit lucky, it seems. Also, a lot of them do resell books, like secondhand ones, so you can find some good secondhand ones as well. There was a really amazing bookshop which was massive, like so big. It was in an old cinema, I think, and wow, that one just kept going. It just kept going and going. And again, I could absolutely have gone back there and lived in there because wow, it was huge and it was awesome. But yes, going back to this one, I picked this one up with my best friend because it just sounds silly. Like, it sounds rompy and silly, and sometimes we just like a crazy, cozy, little bit saucy read. So this one says, all I wanted to do was live my life in peace, maybe get a cat and expand my spice farm. Really, anything that doesn't involve going on a quest where an orc might rip my face off. But they say the goddess has favourites, and if so, I'm clearly not one of them. After I saved the demon Fallon in a wine-drunk stupor, all he wanted to do was kill an evil witch enslaving his people. I mean, I get it, don't get me wrong, but he's dragging me along for the ride, and I'm kind of peeved about it. On the bright side, he keeps burning off his shirt, which I think we can see from the front here. So, yeah, a little bit saucy probably, a little bit silly, but I think it'll be a fun read, and apparently it's a series, so if we do like it, then we'll carry on with it. But yeah, this one was a fun one. It's the first book in the Mead Mishaps series. So that was picked up on just a chance, and that was in one of those little tiny bookshops that just kept going and going and going, and I just loved it. It was so cool. I think I had a snippet of that one actually where I picked that one up, so I'll put that in as well. I was talking about the Cinema bookshop, which had loads of secondhand stuff. These two I got from there, which I'm really excited to have. This is The Reindeer People, and that is Wolf's Brother, and these are written by Megan Lindholm, who is also known as Robin Hobb, my favourite author. Now, I haven't really read too much of her Megan Lindholm work. I have read one or two books, but yeah, I really haven't sort of dived into that side of her writing because it's a little bit more short and a little less character development, I think. Having said that, I did hear good things about this series in general. It's just the two-part series, I think, and I was really pleased to see these in there in really good condition because, yeah, I haven't read them yet. Okay, so it seems like The Reindeer People is the first one. It says, living on the outskirts of the tribe, Tilu is happy spending her time tending to strange, slow, dreamy child Curlew and communing with the land to heal the sick and bring blessing on new births. However, Carp, the shaman, an ugly wizard old man whose magic smells foul to Tilu, desires both mother and child, and Tilu knows that Carp's magic will steal her son and her soul. So begins a harrowing and desperate pursuit across the winter-ravaged lands as Tilu's flight leads them to an uncertain and deadly new future. So, I mean, I think she wrote this after she wrote Live Ship Trilogy, which is obviously one of my favourites, so hopefully they're decent and I will enjoy them. Yeah, just looking forward to giving these a go. And also the cover illustrations, they fit really nicely with the editions that I have of her Robin Hobb works, because the covers are done by John Howe, and I always really like sort of what he does with his artworks. They're always really detailed and lovely, so happy to have those in my collection, and I'm sure these won't be too long on my list before I actually read them because they're short. Megan Lindholm's, that seems like it could be great. Next up, I have a few books that I think I picked up in Gay on Wye. So this one is Mortal Follys, One Cursed Debutante, One Exiled Witch, and One Wild Deal, it says. And I really like the cover of this one. It's very vibrant and bright and beautiful, which is lovely. So it says, it's the year 1814 and Miss Maylies Mitchelmore finds her entry into highest society of Bath, another reason I picked it up, I love Bath as a city, hindered by a curse that begins with her dress unmaking itself at the ball of the season and ends with her life in peril. Surviving the attention of an angry goddess means seeking undesirable allies, and few allies are less desirable than the brooding Lady Georgiana Landrake. She might have murdered her father. She's probably a witch, and she's certainly bewitching. So I am definitely excited for this. It says for like fans of Bridgerton, which I think you can get from that vibe, from that blurb, which I am a fan of Bridgerton TV show. I like it. It's fun. It's silly. It's a little bit saucy. So definitely on vibe at the moment for like romantasy stuff. It seems like a real big thing, a real big boom in the bookish world is romantasy stuff at the moment. And this sounds like it's kind of a cross between romantasy and maybe just like high society. Another one that I'm pretty sure I picked up in Gay on Wye is The Final Strife. Will she rule the empire or destroy it? Great question. Always a good question for a beginning of a series. This is about an empire divided by blood, the red-blooded embers, the blue-blooded dusters, and the clear-blooded ghostlings. Ghostings, not ghostlings. All blood will be spilled in the coming battle for power. What a weird concept, clear blood. I've never read anything with some clear-blooded stuff. The Actibar, a set of trials, is held every 10 years to find the next rulers of the empire, and it's about to begin. All embers can join, but it requires great skill to win. Sela was destined to become Warden of Strength, forged as a weapon to change the empire from within. Those dreams of a better future turned to dust when her family were brutally murdered. But Sela wasn't made to sparkle, she was born to burn, and the trials draw near and it's time for her to decide, will she rule the empire or destroy it? Which sounds like a strong beginning to me, and again, I really like the cover of this, just I think it's like mimicking sort of stonework, cast stone maybe, but it's really, really nice. The next one that I have is this one, The Song of the Marked by S.M. Gaither. Book 1 of Shadows and Crowns, and I think I picked this one up in the Richard Booth shop actually. It sounded kind of interesting, and I think I read the first page in the shop and thought, yeah, I like the sound of that. The old gods are growing restless. Mercenary Cassia Greythorn cares about two things, completing her latest job and earning enough coin for the expensive medicine that's keeping her mentor alive. So when the king commands her to investigate a strange plague devastating the empire, she can't resist the massive rewards he offers, even if it does mean working with the arrogant and infuriating Captain Alander. But as death toll rises and strange monsters wreak havoc across the realms, Cass and Alander find themselves up against meddling gods and very old magic, because an ancient evil is stirring in the shadows and their empire will not survive its full unleashing. So again, sounds like a pretty big dramatic series. There's this creepy little thing with eyes on here, so I don't know what that is, some sort of monster lurking in the shadows. I'm willing to give this a try, never heard anything about it, so if you do know anything about this, or in fact most of these, because I feel like all of them were kind of new except the Megan Lindholms to me, so yeah, let me know if you've read any of these ones and what you thought. The next one I picked up is Star Eater by Kirsten Hall, and I actually don't remember if I got this in Gay on Wye. I might have done, possible, it's possible. All martyrdoms are difficult. Elfreda Raugun will avoid pregnancy if it kills her, and one way or another it will kill her. Though she's able to stomach her gruesome day-to-day duties, the reality of preserving the Sisterhood of Atrium's magical bloodline horrifies her, and she wants out whatever the cost. So when a shadowy faction approaches Elfreda with an offer of escape, she leaps at the opportunity. As their spy, she gains access to the highest reaches of the Sisterhood and enters a glittering world of opulent parties, subtle deceptions, and unexpected bloodshed. The phantasmagorical indictment of hereditary power, Star Eater takes readers deep into a perilous and uncanny world where even the most powerful women are forced to choose what sacrifices they will make so that they may have any choice at all. So that sounded just really fascinating to me. I think I did get it in Gay on Wye, and I don't know what is LGBT about it, like whether it's the main character or what, but it was in there, so I assume it is. It was from Gay on Wye. Look at that. I got the little bookmark inside. So cute. Oh, so cute. And then that just leaves me with two books that I actually didn't buy. I got given these two. So the first one that I have is The Tainted Cup, and I didn't get this in Hay on Wye. I actually went to a little event in the town where I live, which was called a book swap with dessert. And we went to a dessert place and we all met up and we basically bought some books to swap with other people. So I got rid of a few books that I wasn't going to read again and exchanged them for this book, which is a book that I have actually been wanting, so I was pretty pleased to see it. I think you'll all agree this author is pretty well known now, Robert Jackson Bennett, and I have read some of his books, not all of them, and I've enjoyed the ones that I've read. This is, I believe, the start of a new series maybe, or it's possibly a standalone, called The Tainted Cup, and it says a peculiar crime, a brilliant investigator, and a mystery of epic proportions. And yeah, it's some sort of like crimey fantasy all rolled into one, so I guess somewhat urban fantasy maybe. But oh my gosh, the cover of this, like, look at it, it's just divine. Who is the artist? I always forget his name. Tom Roberts. He's done so many covers recently that I just see the book and I'm like, oh, I want it because he's designed it. Like, his artwork, I just love it. I just think it's so gorgeous. And anytime I see one of his designs on a book, I just have to have it, even if the story's not actually that interesting. Luckily, this one is. It says, in an opulent mansion at the border of the Empire, an Imperial officer is killed when a tree spontaneously erupts from his body, a death at once terrifying and impossible. Called in to solve the murder is the brilliant and eccentric investigator Anna Dolabra. With her is assistant Dinius Cole, an engraver magically altered to possess a perfect memory. Unravelling the mystery leads to a scheme that threatens the safety of the Empire. For Anna, this makes for a deliciously thorny puzzle, something truly worth her attention, and Din, he'll just have to hold on for the ride. So, sounds great to me. I'm really excited to read this one actually, and as I say, I just love the covers. I just think they are so beautiful. So, well done to the illustrator there. This one is actually the last instalment of the subscription box that I got sent. My husband signed me up for the subscription box, and I've been really enjoying kind of getting a little package in the post each month, and this one was in there, so really excited to give this a try and sort of see how I like it, basically. A Flame in the North by Lilith St. Crow. This one says, the Black Land is a myth. Centuries have passed since the enemy was slain, yet old fears linger, and the longest night of the year, people in the south still light ritual bonfires to banish the dark. In her village, this duty falls to Solveig, a girl favoured by the gods with a powerful fire magic. But when her brother kills a northern lord's son during the ritual, it is Sol who faces punishment. By being Wergild, part hostage, part guest, in the north for a day and a year. She journeys to her captivity and she realises that the Black Land is no myth. The forests teem with foul beasts, and her travel companions are not what they seem, and their plans for magic are shrouded in secrecy. With only her loyal shield maiden and her own wits to rely upon, Sol must learn to master her powers and wrest control of her fate. For the Black Land army stirs, ready to cover the world in darkness, unless Sol can find the courage to stop it. So yeah, that is everything I've picked up recently. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all those books if you've read any of them. Please let me know if you've gone to Hay on Wye or if you want to, because it's awesome. And yeah, let me know what your favourite book from my haul is. I will see you all very soon in another video. Bye everyone!
Thank you for watching my video today. Go pick up a book, then come back and chat with me again.